Okay, Romario, thank you so much for joining me on this Zoom meeting. Just for our listeners and people who will be watching, can you introduce yourself and tell us how old you are, your name, and where you came from?
Hi, my name is Romario Bryan from Barbados. I'm 24 years old. I came to the UK on the farm program.
Okay.
All I can say is I found out about the UK program on a post on Instagram.
Okay. And what did the post say?
It was like a ad. They got a website on Instagram named Barbados Jobs. So they post like jobs and things in Barbados that like for people that want work and such. And I decided to fill out the application form, and a couple of days I got the request from an agent named Mr. Griffith.
Mm-hmm. What was it about the advert on this Instagram page that made you want to apply? What did it say that made you think this would be a good opportunity?
First of all, it was the part about coming to the UK. I've been to the UK before, but it was nice and stuff, but not this time. And the salary and the wages that were said to be paid was what really caught my eye.
And what salary did it say on the advert, just so that people know what you saw?
I think it said you would be earning about £500 per week, which is like 15 around $1,500.
Okay, now tell us about arriving at Heathrow and then getting to the first farm.
When I arrived at Heathrow, there were a lot of people. This was my first time coming at Heathrow, because normally I come to Gatwick. There was a lot of people. It was nice and thing. And when I was on the outside waiting for the transportation to go to the farm, we were told that we were going to be taken to the farm on coach buses, which is a big bus with AC and toilet on it and stuff. And when we were waiting on transport, we saw two minivans or SUVs, as some people would call it, to pick us up, 15 of us, with plenty of suitcases and luggages. And I was like, whoa, that was not what we were told.
Mm-hmm.
So that part was shocking.
Mm-hmm. And how was the journey from Heathrow to Scotland on these minivans?
I would say awkward, because first of all, we're being transported in a country where we don't live by people that doesn't even speak English, and this is an English country, so that was phasing for me for the first part. And then it was a long drive, and also the people were kind of like rushing and they didn't want to stop, and some of them, it was like a whole lot of drama on the way over to the farm.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell us about your experience at the first farm in Scotland, just for the video's sake, if you could not name the farm. So I'm just going to refer to it as the first farm.
We had to buy heaters for the room. The first night wasn't bad. Well, the first couple weeks, first week to about 7 days wasn't bad. Till we started work. When we started work was when things like kind of changed in a way.
Mm-hmm. Explain how things changed, Romario.
Well, on our first day of work, this was supposed to be our training week, and the first day of work was harsh in a way because as nowadays my first time, well, if you know, you know, it's my first time picking strawberries, so it was like a new experience for me. And picking strawberries is very difficult. Depends on where you picking the strawberry from, because some people harvest strawberries from the ground, and some people harvest strawberries from tabletops. The the ground is very strenuous on your back and your knees, and when you're working, you go to work for some days you work for 8 hours, some days you work for like 12 hours, and the people just be on your back all the time. They don't want you to hold up to get a rest, to stretch your back. Well, they had roads and tunnels where were full of water, and the Romanians and the Bulgarians and the Russians and other people from all other countries were telling the supervisors they ain't working in their tunnel because it's full of water. So they would take our Bajans and put me in there. Sometimes they would put me in roads where they ain't gonna lost strawberries, which would affect our pay because we were working at something they call a piece rate. It was very shocking to me because I feel, well, on my behalf, I feel like we were treated differently from the other people on the farm. We
Wow.
were spoken to differently.
You're spoken to differently, okay. And then
Yeah. The supervisors' actions towards us were different to the other people in my perspective. One time I was at work, and the way we pick crate, the way how they pay us, we are picking strawberries by the crate. There are 10 pallets, 10 pallets in a crate. And they're paying us at $1.91 per panel or crate. I'm not sure. And one day, the more you pick, the more money you make. Let me just put it shortly as that. So one day, in the first week, they were telling us like we have to get up to standard. The standard for the day is be like 30 crates per day. So you have to try to like pick 30 crates per day to reach their target. They told us for the first week to 10 days, first 2 weeks to 10 days can be our training week. So we have time to like actually try to get up to the standard and stuff. And for after the first 4 days or 3 days, everything changed because they were expecting us to like pick to the standard that people did for 10 years and 15 years and 6 years. They're expecting us to pick to do them kind of people standard. And as I said before, this is our first time picking strawberries. So it's real difficult for us to pick for people that be doing this in 15 years or 20 years. It like normal or natural, I would say, for them. And they were expecting us to like get up to those standards. And one day I like went to work with the mentality again, try to get over the standard, and which I did, but I really had to work really, really, really hard to get over the standard. And they saying like the day in front, if you work on a Monday, on a Tuesday evening when you come home from your next working day, you will see like a roster of how much crates you pick for the day in front. So the Monday I picked 52 crates. The target for the day was 30. And since that I picked the 52 crate, the other 22 crates would have gone as like bonus money for me. And someone stole the crates. So when I got to the site, the website now, I looked to check how much crates they picked for the day to make sure that the number was correct. It wasn't, and I went to the manager of the business, and no, first went to my supervisor. They say they can't do anything about that. They don't know anything about that, which is wrong because your supervisors are watching over everyone who's picking strawberries and everything. So if someone crate goes missing, they should know who take it or where have it gone. He told me he don't know anything. So I decided, well, that's not fair. So I going to the manager of the business, and I went to the manager and he told me he's sorry, he can't do nothing for me. All the crate that I picked, them lost. The when the first week was over, after we see our payslip, and thing, I was like, this is not right because certain days I went over the mark, and I ain't seeing the money. Even the £1 91 pence per crate they said they were gonna pay us, I still the money was not even correct. So I was like, wow, this is not right. So I contacted my the agent for Concorder who brought us up here, Mr. Gripper, and I complained to him, and he said he's gonna call the manager and stuff, and he can get it sorted out, but nothing never happened.
Mhm.
Then couple days after, one of the guys we were working with saw he turned his back to pick some strawberries, and when he turned around, he saw a lady taking his crate to put on hers, which is going to deduct his money. So he went to the supervisor on the day and complained to the supervisor. So the supervisor stopped work, called out everyone to a meeting, and told the guy to point out the person he saw stealing his crate. And he showed the guy the lady, and the supervisor asked the lady if she stole the person's crate, and she said no, and that was the end of the story. Like, wow. If I tell myself, if it was the other way around, it would have been a whole different situation.
When you say the other way around, do you mean if it was Barbados taking
the Belgians took the Romanians or Russian crates, it would have been a whole different situation.
You when I spoke to you before, you described the conditions at the first farm as modern day slavery. Is that something you still agree with?
No, your back is bent for like 8 hours, 12 hours, sometimes 10 hours. Either your back bang or you're on your knees for those hours, and
Romario,
your back really hurt you. Yes, please.
Sorry, the phone keeps moving and shaking.
Oh, sorry.
Would you be able to just keep it still for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, carry on. So you're saying the conditions where you had to work, you had to be on your knees or your back was bent for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Was you able to get up and stretch or take a break?
No, that was the part I was not about to get to. When you're working out and you like stand up to stretch your back or give your knees a little relaxed time, the supervisors are telling you pick, 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 because they don't really like speak English too well. So there's only certain words like they know. So they're telling you pick, pick, and you're telling them, I need a little time to give my back a break, and they're pick, pick, and they're using abusive language towards you and telling you pick. Like, whoa, that is shocking. And then they turn into like other Romanians and Bulgarians and speaking in their language, and clearly I don't understand what they're saying. Sometimes you will know that they're speaking about you because certain words in different languages don't change, especially like someone's name don't change. So you know that they're speaking about you, and you're right there standing, bending, picking, whatever, and they're right there telling their friends, the other supervisor, whoever, whatever they're telling them in their language, and you can't understand. And when we speaking our English and talking, they are telling us don't talk because they can't understand what we are saying. So it's like they feel a way that we are speaking and they can't understand what they're saying. So they'll be telling you you're not allowed to speak on the farm while working, and you're seeing everyone else that's speaking Bulgarian or Romanian. They even shouting across the field to other people, and it's no problem. And it was like, so why is it a problem for us Bajans not to speak and everyone else can speak and not us?
You eventually got moved to another farm from this
Yes, please.
first one.
After
Why you left? Why you moved? Tell me why you moved to another farm. What happened?
well, after several complaints, because other stuff keep happening. We had a complaint about the toilets, stuff people be doing to us, saying to us. We complained to our agent, and then he was like, he began talk to Concordia and see what happens. And then that's how we got moved to another farm.
Okay, now tell me about farm number 2. What was the experience like? What was the conditions? What was the accommodation like? You know, and what was the pay like at the second farm?
First of all, the accommodation wasn't bad. I would say it wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. I didn't really actually had much problems on the second farm. Besides the first week we were there, the first supervisor we got, he well, I don't think he's a supervisor. I think he's a manager. He was talking to one of the guys, and he's telling the guy, if you want to work here, you're gonna have to fucking pick strawberries. And I'm like, what? Our first day of work, and you talking to us like that? And after that, it wasn't a problem that. And then the pay, they said they were gonna pay us $8.91, and they did.
And then eventually you got moved from the second farm.
To a third farm,
And
where
third farm.
it went downhill from there.
Okay, tell me about the third farm in as much detail as possible. What you saw, what it was like, what it smelled like. Go into all the details for everybody watching, please.
First of all, they said they were going to give us caravans like we had at the first 2 farms, and we were put in something like a prison where you have to share a one room with 4 people. Sometimes it's people you know, sometimes it's people you don't know. So they give us bunk beds to sleep on. The beds were trash. From the time you lay on the mattress, you could feel the spring, the metal frame on the bottom of the bed. You could feel that. I had a lot of back pains from laying on the bed. Sometimes even sleep on the ground because it made no difference.
Wow.
Yeah. Then when it comes to hygienic around the farm smells like feces all day. That you're working on a chicken thing, a chicken farm. The guys will go to the bathroom. Some of them will stool on the ground. Some of them will stool in the car in the toilet. Some of them, the toilet will be clogged. Someone will stool in it, and then another person will come and lay toilet paper over that person's stool and stool on top of that till the toilet full and overflowing. One morning I got up because I had to go work for 7. I got up at 6 o'clock to go to the bathroom. And when I got to the bathroom, I saw the janitor mopping the bathroom with toilet water. So the toilet has in stool and toilet paper. The toilet is clogged, it's not flushing. So she's taking the mop inside of that same toilet and mopping the floor with it. Yeah, I know, or real. And it was like, I can't be seeing what I seen. And after I came out of that same bathroom from home, the janitor mama walked straight in the same bathroom, stick the mop inside the same toilet, I know peeing, mopped the floor with it, and it was like, whoa, this cannot be for real. After saying that, I was like, I can't even wear my slippers back into my room because that is not clean. And it was shocking.
Sorry, did you complain about what you saw in these toilets? And was
Yeah,
anything
I
done?
complained to the people on the farm first, and then I called our agent, Mr. Griffith, and he said he talked to the people already about the accommodations, and they were supposed to give us caravans because there are caravans on the site. They said we were supposed to get our own separate bathrooms, and they needed a week to do so. Because they're now hearing about it, which I know is not true, because the bathroom that was on my block where I had to use, you could have smelled it from the time you walk out my door. You could smell like the urine sink from the bathroom. Sometimes you could smell the stool in the bathroom. You don't have to go in the bathroom to know that the bathroom's dirty. You could just pass and smell that the bathroom's dirty.
And eventually you left this farm, didn't you?
What really pushed me to get from around there was like, I started to get like sick. So I tell myself like the surroundings and the conditions of the place is like not healthy for me at all. So I really need to get from around here. So that was what really pushed me to leave the farm.
And you haven't gone to any other farms? You're done with the farm work?
I'm finished for life.
Yeah. I mean, would you advise other people from Barbados to come to the UK and do this farm work?
Hell no.
What are your hopes going back to Barbados? I mean, are you going to tell everyone the truth about your experience?
Already did.
You've already did.
Already did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really feel you need to like let almost the whole world know some of the things that is like really still going on in the world, because people are like hush hush about this racism thing and stuff, and people think it don't exist anymore, but it does on a big massive scale.
I wish you well, Romario, you know, and have a safe trip back to sunny Barbados. I know you can't wait to get back home.
Tell you, I can't wait. I can't wait.